You gonna learn, bro. Guys, well, we're back. Now, we just talked about Bardstown and he talked about the similarities. I can taste some of the similarities because I drink a lot of whiskey. I don't know if that's a good thing. What I would tell you is that I've tried various whiskeys and I go, wow. This gives me something that feels familiar. And its familiarity is rooted in its uniqueness. And its uniqueness is like, I think Jamarcus used Benchmark. I've had Jack Daniels. I've had this. And they're like, oh, this tastes like whiskey. It's just brown liquor. Nothing tastes like the same like the blendery. But the Bardstown, this feels like it has flavor and so many complexity and components. Now walk them through the zebra cast.
So I was pointing out the rye. The ryes are really cool because they're made, if you see here, they're made rye whiskey finished in a toasted cherry wood and oak barrel. So you would think toasted cherry wood and oak. How do they do that? They literally take staves of oak and staves of cherry wood and zebra them around a barrel, and that's how this is aged. I've seen it at the distillery, and you can literally see the red and the white from between the two different woods, and it affects the flavor. The cherry does. So,
that's one that you would recommend buying.
Oh yeah, and this now they have in the Origin series, so it's about 6 to 7 years old.
Look, let me take a step
under
back.
$60.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Let me take a step back here because people, here's a couple of things that I'd love Chance to answer. So I'm gonna set him up. He's gonna give you guys some perspective. When Tim broke down all the details, and even you at times, man, brilliant. Thank you a ton for sharing your knowledge. We appreciate you for giving us some time, energy, and effort into the whiskey space. And he said, Trevor, not all whiskey is created the same. Nose it, smell it, taste it, let it sit at the front of the palate for 3 to 5 seconds. See how the finish is. I'm like, dude, I have no clue what he's talking about. Can I be candid with you, Chance,
Sure.
saying this? I'm like, where do black people get to enjoy anything? So I'm like, boy, these white folks got some time on their hands. How they talking about the finish? These are all words. I'm like, look, we trying to get drunk and go home. Or get drunk and try not to get arrested.
Yeah.
That's the candid truth. So when I turned around and started embracing the journey whiskey takes you on, you go, oh, damn. Every one of these bottles, like every one of those bottles, they're different.
Yep.
They're not the same. So I'm like, that's what chasing whiskey's about. But then I learned, once you get done chasing it, the only thing that matters is who you're drinking it with.
Yeah.
Because just like, if Chance was able to finish this whole bottle by herself, his wife's gonna be like, yo, you got a problem.
Right.
You're fucking drunk. You need to go to AA or something. What the fuck? What is it that you love most about whiskey and what it does for others? And then when you're on the chase per se, especially because now I said, Chance, I want you to be a part of our big journey and what we're going on. Like, I can't do this alone, guys. This is on camera. When you see this videos 5 years from now, you'll be like, damn, they did that. Tim asked, I told you, oh, what's Chance doing? I said, dude, helping me out. I'm like, I can't do this alone, man. At the end of the day, you need somebody to help record.
Yeah.
You need someone who can communicate effectively, and you need someone who really loves whiskey. I'm never gonna love it, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And that's two different things, right?
Right.
What is it about chasing bourbon that you enjoy so much, and even sharing with others?
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything else. I mean, you can go overboard on it, obviously, but if you're into whiskey and you really kind of like start to like it and enjoy all the nuances of it,
Yeah.
it makes it special, and it does this thing where it forces you to slow down and learn all the little things about it. And there's not a lot of drink out there that does that. If I'm drinking cold beer at the lake, I mean, I'm just drinking for a purpose, right? It's hot, I'm drinking, it's get a little buzz on the water, you know, that's kind of the thing. But whiskey does a different thing. It forces you to slow down, it forces you to notice all the little things and the nuances, and it opens a conversation of other like-minded individuals.
Do you have one of the best what's the best conversation you ever had over whiskey, man?
I've had all kinds of conversations over whiskey, maybe sometimes too much whiskey and too much conversation. But I mean, you can have, we went down that list of my best whiskeys, and it's those, those conversations that start a friendship. It's those conversations that, get you through the hard time or make you realize it's not so hard.
You know what, look, Chance and I are going to do some more stuff because, again, he's a guy who's got perspective and, even more importantly, a lot of value to add, man. How old did you say you are, Chance?
I'm right at 50, yeah.
50 years old, man. That means that man's lived. So you learn from people who've lived, and you definitely learn from those people who have something to offer in terms of value. And his value is not just his life, but his journey. And those steps that he's taking or shared with me, you go, wow, that's interesting. So imagine me getting started in the whiskey space and not knowing where to begin. Shout out to the blender, because that's what brought us together.
Yeah.
And then big thank you to Chance, because I said, you know what? I was apprehensive in many situations to invite anybody over. And let's be very clear, Jimmy G, he like me, he'll throw an elbow up. I'll be there, you know, and he'll push and push and push. And I'm grateful for those people who push, because now, one of the best Mondays I've lived was when Tim and everybody was here. Like, we did this for almost a year straight, and of course we call, you know, the big guy to come. And it's like me, if I show up to a dog event, they're like, oh, he's here. You know, it's a whole different, it's the same formula. But, and then to get Tim's feedback, say, man, food was great. That was actually impressive to see, Trev. Like, to see those people enjoy themselves. That's what I started whiskey for. Mm-hmm. You go, yep. And you've inspired me to do the same. It's because of this that we're here, and this is why I'm like, oh damn, whiskey is different.
Yeah, and we all have nurtured that, right?
Bruh, explain nurturing though, because I think that's a simple, complicated term.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you go, what's the key to nurturing a relationship? Well, for one, let's keep the bottle at the center of it. Yep. We're always gonna be okay if there's a bottle at the center. But even more importantly, let's make sure that we, as I said, oh Tim, I'm not gonna go off camera, I'll tell you, but it was like, oh, we just need to keep it whiskey. Because he's like, oh, that's a good one, Trev. And it goes back to why we're here today. Because I'm like, I thought the whiskey was all that mattered. All that other stuff you're going through, who cares? But what's the key in managing a brand's growth, and what do you want to see from the next brand that you assist in developing?
So it never stops. You're always going to learn something, and I'm trying to learn something right now that's new to me.
What is that?
And that's weakness in whiskey. It's hard for me to, I can identify when something is great, but I can't identify when something that's weak. And Tim's been helping me with that.
Oh, you didn't know? Okay.
Yeah, like he gives me.
You don't cook, do you?
Well, I do cook. Yeah.
What do you cook?
Oh, everything, man. Seafood, Cajun.
Oh, we gonna have to put Chance in that. Y'all want to see it cooking like? Look, we gonna see a Dr. Chance.
We can do it.
And that'll be fun too, because then what will happen is, keep in mind, this is how creativity happens. Chance tells someone like me, I used to be a chef, what he's thinking and why he's putting stuff together. And I'll ask him questions and he'll have an epiphanic moment, right? Mm-hmm. When I go to businesses and I help their brand and their marketing, I go, oh, that's the story. So what I learned, Tim, hey, we got this bottle we need to sell, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
I'm like, but that's not what people care about. He was like, what do you mean? What do we do? Go to the Whiskey Blenderies page. We very rarely ever say, get this bottle right now. No. It happens every 4 or 5 videos. But I said, you know what your superpower is? Customer service. You know what your superpower is? Connectivity. You know what your superpower is? Communication on a personal level with those people who walk through your doors. The whiskey's gonna be the whiskey. That's not the business. I'm in the business of selling whiskey. Are you? You don't mass distribute. So you really are in the business of customer service, and we have to articulate that. Guys, keep it whiskey. Stay tuned. We're on to something here in mind. This is good. I'm surprised. I gotta be honest. It's the first brand where I'm like, oh wow.
Legacy Distillate.
That smells different.
Keep it whiskey, guys.